Ladies and gentlemen, things got weird last night because normally we don't get trailers on Friday nights, let alone at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, let alone just on Twitter. But last night we got the next story trailer for the Caldera, aka Warzone Pacific. A few weeks ago we got part 1 of the Warzone story, and this week we got the next part, and in this we can put them all together and get an idea as to what is going on in the Caldera and what the backstory is for Warzone Pacific. So in this video, what we're going to do is have a look at that cutscene. It's a little bit weird because we don't have the full thing that's going to be out on YouTube as of yet. We don't know when that is coming out, but we have it from Twitter, and that is what we are going to break down and discuss what exactly the story is for Warzone Pacific. And yes, it ties into the part 1 trailer that we saw weeks ago, so we'll also be having a look at that as well as the new characters and Butcher, who is kind of brand new to the Vanguard storyline as well, but not fully. We'll dive into that in a minute, but first, let's dive in and have a look at this trailer.
Mission log number 113, Operation Vulcan, Pacific 1944. I was cruising above the Pacific Ocean with Trident, seeing if those secret Nazi rumors were true. Those fuckers knew we were coming and didn't waste any time trying to take us out. I sent Trident down on their own while I got the plane the fuck out of there. They knew what to do. Trident kicked ass and completed the mission. They'd come rescue me soon after. Well, shit. The Nazis thought they could keep all their secrets buried, but I was rarely far behind. Hello, hello. I knew one thing for certain. The world would never be ready for what I found.
So there are a few very big takeaways from this trailer. Similar to the last trailer that we saw, where our heroes from Black Ops Cold War, including Adler, Mason, and Woods, all went into a bunker within Verdansk and found someone by the name of Butcher. Butcher then goes on to tell them about a mission that he went on way back in the day in the Caldera. This is of course referring to Warzone Pacific.
I'm Captain Butcher of the SOE. Well, retired Captain Butcher these days. I was in charge of the SOE during the war. Ever heard of Vanguard? I created Vanguard. And all the others too. It was a simpler time then. But the work is never done. Our victory wasn't earned till we snuffed out every last spark. After Berlin, we hunted down the rats that scurried into hiding all over the world. And it started in the Pacific.
Now we then continue this story off with the narrator once again of Butcher. It appears as though throughout the various seasons of Warzone Pacific, this is kind of what we will see, is the story being told from Butcher's perspective. Now there's a couple of interesting things regarding this map. First of all, if you have a look at the image that they put out of the map, it says that the date of the map is December 1944. This is interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you have a look at the main campaign of Call of Duty Vanguard, it actually takes place mainly in 1945. So the very first mission where you're on the train, eventually get captured, taken to Berlin, and held captive is all in the year 1945. So at the end of the campaign, when this happens...
Come on, dig in.
How about this? Project Nova.
I can beat it. Project Ether. Reviving the dead.
Does anyone want some Nazi gold?
Looks like we're gonna be busy.
So when we saw this, we all assumed that one of these files inside of one of these crates was going to be related to Caldera, specifically Warzone Pacific, and that is where our characters were going to go next to try stopping the Nazis, finding out their secrets, and this also being a part of Project Phoenix. But that's actually not the case, because as we now know, this mission in the Caldera is actually going on somewhat at the same time as what is going on in the Call of Duty Vanguard campaign, because some of the flashback missions actually take place during the same time period. So as Butcher says in this cutscene, this is Operation Vulcan. Essentially, they were flying over the Pacific when they were scouting out islands for essentially Nazi secrets, in which they get attacked and shot down. At this time, Team Trident jumps out of the airplane, and then Butcher proceeds to crash land on the island. Trident knows what they're doing, so they end up taking out some of the Nazis, but that is when Butcher finds a little bit more about the island. This is indeed one of the Nazi secrets, and for a very good reason. And that's what we see at the very end of the trailer, and what Butcher discovers.
Trident kicked ass and completed the mission. They come rescue me soon after. Well, shit. The Nazis thought they could keep all their secrets buried, but I was rarely far behind. Hello, hello. I knew one thing for certain. The world would never be ready for what I found.
So Butcher essentially finds a manhole leading underground, saying that inside he found Nazi secrets. Now, as the manhole cover closes, we see the year 1939 and, of course, one of the Nazi logos. Now, with this, we can extrapolate a few things. 1939 is when Hitler kind of reached his peak of his plan to invade Poland and things along those lines. So we can assume that at this time, this is when the Nazis kind of planned and created these various different situations, one of them being in the Pacific on the Caldera. Now, this leads us to what the next and the rest of the story for Warzone Pacific is going to be, and it seems as though it's going to relate to what the Nazis are hiding in these bunkers around the map. Similar to Verdansk with the bunkers, once again, it returns in a little bit of a different way. So seemingly, we are going to have to go around the map and find what these various secrets are to unlock the next stages of the story. Now, this is very different than the story that we saw with Verdansk 84. Verdansk was all about the bad guys. We saw Stitch come in and make this big plan, but this one is more seemingly focused on the good guys and what they discover on the island. We haven't yet seen any sort of bad guy or main antagonist in this story. Now, will that happen with the launch of Warzone Pacific? We don't know. But as of right now, our goal in the Caldera is to find what these secrets are and discover the Nazi secrets. And that is all we have as of right now. So as we get more of the story, of course, I will bring more and more of these videos. If you enjoy these videos, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date, make sure you subscribe and have notifications on. But that's the Caldera story as of now. I will keep you updated as we get more. As always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making